What started as a civilian swamp rescue vehicle became the unstoppable force that conquered beaches worldwide. Today, we track the complete evolution of amphibious assault vehicles across every single era. This is the story of vehicles that own both land and sea. Starting off with World War I and early experiments, the Eructor Amphibious. Built in 1805 by Oliver Evans, this steam-powered dredge was technically the first self-propelled amphibious vehicle in history. It crawled awkwardly on wheels before paddling through water like a primitive beast. Next, the World War I Mark IX experimental tank. British engineers desperately tried making tanks swim by attaching giant flotation drums to the sides. The concept failed spectacularly, sinking more often than it floated, but it proved someone was thinking about amphibious armor. Up next, the Vickers Carden-Lloyd light amphibious tank from the early 1930s. This tiny vehicle relied on thin armor and buoyancy pontoons to float. It was essentially a bathtub with tracks, fragile but educational. Now, this is the Christie amphibious tank experiments from the 1930s. American inventor J. Walter Christie built revolutionary high-speed tanks that could theoretically cross rivers. His designs featured watertight hulls and propeller systems, pioneering concepts decades ahead of their time. The vehicles were fast, innovative, and completely impractical for military adoption. The next one, Donald Roebling's Alligator from 1935 to 1937. A wealthy engineer designed this tracked vehicle specifically for swamp rescues in the Florida Everglades. Its massive tracks and boat-like hull inspired military interest when the Marine Corps realized they needed something exactly like this for Pacific Island assaults. Then the LVT, one prototype development in 1941. The Marine Corps took Roebling's civilian design and militarized it. The prototype proved amphibious assault from ship to shore was finally possible, setting the stage for the entire landing vehicle tracked family tree. Let's move on to World War II development. The LVT, one Alligator entered production in 1941. This was the first true amphibious assault vehicle, featuring a cargo bed, aluminum tracks with paddle-like grousers, and a completely unarmored body. It could carry 18 troops or 4,500 pounds of cargo from ship directly to beach. Up next, the LVT, 2 Water Buffalo from 1942 to 1943. This improved version swapped the aluminum tracks for steel and added a more powerful engine. The suspension got better, the cargo capacity increased, and reliability improved dramatically compared to the temperamental LVT-1. The DUKW, nicknamed the Duck, arrived in 1942. Based on a standard 6x6 GMC truck chassis, engineers added a watertight hull and propeller. It was basically a truck that accidentally learned to swim, but it worked beautifully for logistics and cargo transport. Next, the LVT-A-1 in 1943. Someone finally realized these vulnerable cargo haulers needed firepower. By mounting a 37mm gun turret from the Stuart Light tank onto the LVT-2 chassis, the Marines created the first armored amphibious fire support vehicle. The LVT-A-2 followed in 1943. This variant swapped the 37mm gun for a powerful 75mm howitzer, giving Marines the ability to blast enemy fortifications while still in the water. It turned beach assaults from suicide missions into coordinated attacks. Continuing, the LVT-3 Bushmaster from late 1943. Engineers completely redesigned the vehicle by moving both engines to the front sponsons, creating a massive open cargo area in the rear. This clever layout dramatically improved troop loading and unloading efficiency. Now let's look at World War II peak production. Now, this is the LVT-4 Water Buffalo from 1943, the most produced amphibious assault vehicle of the entire war. Its revolutionary rear ramp door allowed troops to exit directly instead of climbing over the sides under enemy fire. American factories built over 8,000 of these workhorses, and they stormed every major Pacific beach from Saipan to Okinawa. The LVT-4 proved so effective that it remained the standard for amphibious assault for decades. The LVT-A-4 arrived in 1944. Mounting the same 75mm howitzer as the M8 Scott, this fire support beast provided devastating covering fire during beach landings. Its armor could withstand small arms fire, and its punch could knock out bunkers and fortified positions while Marines stormed ashore. Meet the DUKW in extensive combat use. After proving itself in Sicily in 1943, the Duck participated in D-Day, crossing the English Channel and driving straight onto Normandy beaches. Over 21,000 were built, and they hauled everything from ammunition to wounded soldiers across every theater of war. Its versatility made it the logistics champion of World War II. Up next, the LVT-3C from 1944. This command variant featured enhanced radio equipment and map tables, serving as floating command posts during amphibious operations. Commanders could coordinate attacks while still offshore. The LVT-A-5 appeared in 1945, combining the LVT-3 chassis with a fully enclosed turret mounting a 75mm gyrostabilized howitzer. This was the most advanced fire support vehicle of the war. It arrived just as the Pacific Campaign reached Iwo Jima and Okinawa, where its firepower saved countless Marine lives. Next, the LVT-5 series development in late 1944. Engineers began testing even more powerful engines and improved armor schemes, though most remained prototypes as the war wound down. The Ford GPA, nicknamed a Seep, was a small amphibious Jeep produced from 1942. Basically a Jeep with a boat bottom. It could ford rivers and paddle across calm water. It was too small for assault operations, but perfect for reconnaissance and river crossings. Continuing, British variants and Lend-Lease vehicles. Britain received thousands of American LVTs and developed their own modifications, including armored cabs and different weapon mounts tailored for European conditions. Soviet forces used Lend-Lease Dukas extensively during river crossings in Eastern Europe. The Red Army appreciated their simplicity and cargo capacity during the massive offensives of 1944 and 1945. The Terrapin Mk1, a British design from 1943, featured four wheels and a boxy armored hull. Slower than American LVTs, it was nicknamed the Floating Brick but served reliably in Italy and Northwest Europe. Now, this is the D.D. Sherman tank from 1944, the duplex drive swimming tank. By attaching a collapsible canvas screen and propellers, engineers made the 30-ton Sherman float. On D-Day, dozens swam ashore at Normandy, though rough seas sank many before reaching the beach. When they worked, they provided crucial armored support in the first assault waves. LVT variants adapted for Rhine crossings in 1945. As Allied forces pushed into Germany, specialized LVTs ferried troops and supplies across major rivers under heavy fire, proving amphibious vehicles weren't just for beaches. The Pacific Island hopping campaign created specialized variants. Marines needed vehicles that could navigate coral reefs, swamps, and jungle terrain immediately after landing, leading to dozens of field modifications and experimental versions. Continue watching to see the modern amphibious assault vehicles that dominate today. Finally, specialized cargo and medical evacuation versions appeared throughout 1944 and 1945. Some LVTs were converted into floating ambulances, while others hauled ammunition and fuel exclusively, showing the platform's incredible versatility. Up next, the Cold War evolution. The LVT-5 series appeared in 1952, just in time for the Korean War. Massively larger than World War II designs, it featured a boat-shaped steel hull, more powerful engines, and could carry 34 fully equipped Marines. Its bow ramp and improved armor made it the Marine Corps workhorse throughout the 1950s and early 1960s. The LVTH-6 from the 1950s mounted a massive 105mm howitzer in a fully enclosed turret. This fire support monster could blast enemy positions from the water or provide artillery support after landing. Next, the LVTR-1 recovery variant from the 1950s. Equipped with cranes and heavy winches, it recovered damaged vehicles on the beach and performed field repairs under combat conditions. The M113 armored personnel carrier arrived in 1960. Though designed primarily as a land vehicle, it was genuinely amphibious, using track propulsion in water. Tens of thousands saw service in Vietnam, often crossing rivers and rice paddies under fire. The Soviet PT-76 light amphibious tank from 1952. Armed with a 76mm gun and genuinely fast in water, this sleek vehicle could swim rivers and provide reconnaissance forces with real firepower. Lightweight and maneuverable, it became the Soviet answer to rapid water crossings. The BTR-50 followed in 1954. Based on the PT-76 chassis, this tracked armored personnel carrier could carry 16 troops across rivers and rough terrain. The Soviet Union exported thousands to Warsaw Pact allies and client states worldwide. Now, this is the BMP, one from 1966, the revolutionary Soviet infantry fighting vehicle. By mounting a 73mm gun, an anti-tank guided missile, and carrying 8 troops in a fully amphibious armored hull, the Soviets created an entirely new category of combat vehicle. The BMP-1 changed everything, forcing Western militaries to completely rethink mechanized warfare. Its descendants still serve in dozens of armies worldwide. Next up, the LVP-7 in 1972, the radical transformation. With a true boat-like hull, water jets instead of track propulsion, and a rear ramp for rapid troop deployment, the LVP-7 was faster, more reliable, and far more seaworthy than anything before it. This 26-ton beast could carry 25 Marines at 8 miles per hour in water and 40 miles per hour on land. It became the standard for a generation. The BMP-2 arrived in 1980, improving on the original with a 30mm autocannon and better sights. This Soviet IFV remained fully amphibious while adding devastating firepower against infantry, helicopters, and light vehicles. The BTR-60, BTR-70, and BTR-80 wheeled APC series. These 8x8 armored personnel carriers featured boat hulls and water jets, providing Soviet motorized rifle troops with amphibious mobility throughout the Cold War. Finally, the BMD, one from 1969. Designed specifically for Soviet airborne forces, this airdroppable vehicle was both amphibious and light enough to parachute from aircraft. Small but lethal, it gave paratroopers armored mobility immediately after landing. And our last category is the modern era. The AAV-7A1 redesignation happened in 1985 as the LVP-7 received upgrades. Enhanced armor, improved engines, better suspension, and modernized electronics kept these vehicles combat effective through Desert Storm, Iraq, and Afghanistan. The AVC-7A1 Command variant from the 1990s. Packed with advanced communications equipment and battle management systems, it serves as a mobile command post during amphibious operations. Up next, the AVR-7A1 recovery variant from the 1990s. Equipped with powerful winches, cranes, and repair tools, it recovers damaged AAVs on hostile beaches and provides field maintenance under fire. The Expeditionary Fighting Vehicle program aimed to replace the aging AAV-7. Featuring incredible water speed and advanced armor, prototypes reached 25 miles per hour in water using planing hulls. The program was canceled in 2011 due to extreme costs and technical complexity, proving that sometimes ambition exceeds engineering reality. The Chinese ZBD-05 from the 2000s. This modern Chinese amphibious assault vehicle features a 30mm autocannon, anti-tank missiles, and carries 10 troops. China deployed these to support potential Taiwan operations, showing amphibious warfare remained strategically vital. The Russian BTR-MDM Rakushka from the 2010s. Designed for airborne forces, this tracked vehicle is fully amphibious, airdroppable, and heavily armed with a 30mm cannon and anti-tank missiles. It represents Russia's continued investment in rapid deployment amphibious forces. Now, this is the BAE Amphibious Combat Vehicle ACVP from 2018, the next generation. This 8x8 wheeled vehicle replaces the aging AAV-7 fleet with modern survivability, a 30mm cannon, and carries 13 Marines plus 3 crew. Unlike tracked vehicles, its 8 wheels provide better reliability, easier maintenance, and surprising water speed using advanced water jet propulsion. The Marine Corps is procuring hundreds, marking the biggest shift in amphibious assault vehicle design in nearly 50 years. The ACV 30 variant from the 2020s mounts an unmanned 30mm cannon turret with advanced fire control, allowing remote operation and reduced crew exposure. Next, the ACVC Command variant from the 2020s features enhanced communication suites, digital battle management systems, and serves as the nerve center for Marine expeditionary units during complex amphibious operations. ACV Recovery variant and future unmanned versions. The Marine Corps continues evolving these vehicles with autonomous capabilities and enhanced protection against drones and missiles, ensuring amphibious assault remains viable well into the 21st century and beyond.